Hare Krishna, dear devotees, thank you very much for joining today. Wanted to seek the blessings of Radha Shyam Sundar, Radha Madhav, Krishna Balaram, Bal Gopal, Gaurnitai, Srila Prabhupada, Guru Maharaj, and the assembled devotees. So we wanted to continue with the Sanatan Dharma course and look at the yoga ladder. We looked at Bhakti Yoga in little detail, not so much detail, but over the last few sessions. And the culmination of all yoga ladders is Bhakti Yoga. But we wanted to see the yoga ladder anyway. What are the other yogas which are given in the Vedic philosophy, so that we can just do a comparison. So let's have a look. Oops. The bottom rung of life is basically where one is a human being, but only in name. Actually, one's behavior is more animalistic. So the human being will eat, sleep, mate, defend, which is exactly what the animals do as well. So what's the difference between the pashu, animal, and the human? None, except the body is different. And the likelihood is in the next life, one will attain the body of an animal, depending on one's characteristics and behavior and karma. So that's the bottom place. And I suspect a vast majority of humanity falls into this category, which is a real shame. It's a real pity.
Can you put it a little bit higher up? Or is it
yeah, no, I won't be able to. Okay. Although what I can do, one second. I can do this. How's that?
Yes, this is better.
Yeah. So this is the destination of this animalistic behavior is going to be going either to the lower planets for to suffer in hellish condition for some time, or lower species, so animal species or plant species. So next up the ladder chain, yoga ladder, sorry, is one who does karma kand. Now, what is karma kand? This is where one performs one's duty, but with some expectation of gain. Here we've got fruitive worker. That's what fruitive worker is. We work to get some fruits. Regulated sense gratification according to the scriptures. So one follows the Vedic scriptures, does the homa to the devatas, gets blessings and gifts from the devatas, and enjoys those gifts. It's regulated according to the scriptures. They perform rituals for heavenly sense gratification. So this is the vast majority of Vedas are based around the worship of the devatas in order to attain heavenly pleasures. And the problem with that, of course, is it's very temporary. As we spoke the other day, karma is not eternal. So if one does good karma and ends up in heaven, you're still going to come back to earth once the good karma is exhausted. The fruits of the good karma are exhausted. So from that point of view, good karma, although we're not discouraging good karma, good behavior, good activities, good action, it's not enough if one is aiming for the spiritual destination. It's not enough. So what's the the result of somebody who's doing karma kanda activities, they'll perhaps take birth again as a human being on earth, or attain Swargalok, the heavenly planets, for some time. And then when that karmic bank account is knocked down to zilch, they'll come back to earth again. The next stage up is karma yoga. And there's two aspects, the karma yoga, nishkam karma yoga. Karma yoga, nishkam karma yoga. So one does, the basic level of karma yoga is one performs one's duty and is not attached to the result, is not attached. So that's one layer of karma yoga. Second layer of karma yoga is nishkam karma yoga. One does one's duty, one is not just not attached, but actually renounces the fruits, i.e., dedicates the fruits to the Supreme Lord. So that is very, very close to bhakti yoga. Very, 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 very close. The line is very fine between nishkam karma yoga and bhakti yoga. But there is a difference still, because in bhakti yoga, one's activities are focused on the Lord with mind, intelligence, ego, and heart. That's the difference, the heart. Nishkam karma yoga, the heart may not be involved. Yeah. So, okay, yes, Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, all the devotees. When you say fruit, what does that mean? Please.
Okay,
Fruits.
so you do something good and you expecting recognition. You do some, you want some reward. You do something for something back in return. So you go to work for a salary. You go to,
Yes.
yeah. So you go to the temple, you give a donation, and you want people to announce this donation, so that your name,
Oh, I see.
if the motivation is like that. Some people actually like their name to be spoken because that encourages others to give. That's fine. That's fine.
That's fine. You whatever you said is true.
Yeah.
Because once I gave some donation in one temple, and I said I don't want my name to come, and they said, "Look, Prabhaben, if you put your name, then there is other people will come
Also
in
come
front
forward.
and give the
Right.
donation."
That's good.
And then I said, okay, then put it, because really I didn't wanted it.
Yeah.
So the way you are telling that some people want it, some people don't want it. But they say it is good to give your name, then other people also come in front and give.
Yeah, and you're sacrificing. See, you didn't want your name to be, and you gave that up so that others can also do bhakti. It's very good. Yeah, very, very good.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. So, what is the destination of those who are in karma yoga? Well, they will be perhaps in the next life born in a family of bhaktas, so they continue on their spiritual journey. They may attain the heavenly planets or the planets of the Prajapatis, the ancestors, which are also regarded to be heavenly planets. But they're definitely on the path back to the spiritual world, especially one who is engaged in Nishkam Karma Yoga, because they've renounced the fruits of their activities. They're definitely on the right path. Gyan Yoga. So this is a yoga ladder going up. Yes, Naniben?
Yes. My real name is Pratibha. That's what I put it in. Somewhere I heard that in Nishkam Karma Yoga, there is still some expectation of return.
In normal karma yoga, yes, but not nishkam karma yoga. That's where you completely renounce any fruits.
Okay.
But But normal karma yoga, yes. There may be, you might be not attached to the fruits, but you expect the fruits to come, but you're not attached. You're not attached. But then the nishkam karma yoga it goes a step beyond. That's where I might be wrong, but as far as I remember, nishkam karma yoga is where you have renounced the fruits, completely renounced.
Then somewhere in the lecture I heard that there is
Ah,
expectation in the nishkam karma. So that's why it's a little bit at a lower level.
why it's at a lower level is because you may renounce the fruits, but you may not be attached to Krishna or God. Your heart may not have connected yet. And that's what makes the connection to Bhakti Yoga. From Nishkam Karma Yoga, it's very easy to go to Bhakti Yoga because all you got to do is fall in love with God. Very simple. Because you're already at a high level.
Yeah. So would there be any demigod worship in there? I think so.
Would there be demigod worship?
Apart
Might be. Yes. Yeah. Because still one is not completely fully aware. Because the next stage, Gyan Yoga, gives you that awareness of the demigods. But in Karma Yoga, you may not be fully conscious of the difference between demigods and the Supreme Lord. Yeah. That may well be there. Yes.
Okay. All right.
But of course, even within these categories, there are many different types of bhaktas, devotees. So this is quite a simplified yoga ladder. But even within each category, there'll be many variations, many variations. So then the higher yoga, then karma yoga is jnana yoga, because you're starting off at the base of where you renounce the you renounce the fruits of your labor, but you are now gaining knowledge. But unfortunately, that knowledge may be a little bit restricted because you're reading the Vedas, you're reading lots of scriptures, but where it's leading you, perhaps, is towards the formless aspect of God, the Brahman. So how do we understand this Brahman? The sun is just out in the UK, which is a very rare event. And from the sun comes the sunshine. So the sun has a form, the sunshine has no form. So, in the same way, from God, the Supreme Lord, personality of Godhead, comes an effulgence. The Supreme Lord has a form, but the effulgence has no form. That effulgence is known as this Brahman. And some people accept the Brahman as the ultimate aspect of God. But Krishna explains in the Bhagavad Gita, 14th chapter, 27th verse, Brahmanohi Pratistaham, that Brahman is dependent on him. If he is not present, there is no effulgence. Just like if the sun is not there, there is no sunshine. So this is where Gyan Yoga takes one up to that level. And one may also be performing great tapasya, austerities. What will they achieve? They may well merge with the Lord in this Brahman arena. So that is, they will merge with the Brahmajyoti, the effulgence of God. And that's not a good place to be. Not a good place, as good as hell. Because the jiva, the soul, is very active, very busy. In the Brahman, the soul becomes inactive, very inactive. And that is not the natural position of the soul. So in the Brahman, the soul may not get the happiness that he is searching for. And then from there may come back again to this material world. The chances of one going higher into the spiritual realm are there, but only through the mercy of Krishna, of course, and the devotees. But it's very hard, very hard. So we don't want to be stuck here. So the next level is Dhyana Yoga or Astanga Yoga, where again one is renouncing the fruits, one has knowledge, but this time one is also controlling the mind and the senses through meditation on the Paramatma. And there the devotee will reach Brahman or the Paramatma. So who is this Paramatma? That is actually effectively the Vaikuntha planets. Effectively, that's the Vaikuntha planets. So that is not necessarily a bad place to be because that's Vaikuntha. So either one will be ending up in the Brahman or be associating with the Paramatma. And this is a little idea of Astanga Yoga. It's a very hard process. There's 8 divisions: Yama, Niyama, Asana, different poses, Pranayam, Pratyahara, Dharana, Dhyan. Then eventually we come to Samadhi. This is the process that Krishna explained a little bit to Arjun in the 6th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. And Arjun said to Krishna, impossible. I can't do this. I can't do this. It's more easier for me to control the wind than my mind. So I will not be able to do what you are proposing. So we take the same attitude. It's too hard for us because in Kali Yuga especially, it's very, very difficult. So then we come up to the highest stage, which is what we've been discussing, Bhakti Yoga, loving devotional service to the Supreme Lord. Now, all of these yoga beforehand can be very easily transformed into bhakti, very, very easily. All we have to do is put the Lord in the middle, in the center. So if we're doing karma yoga, fine, bring the Lord into the center. That's becomes bhakti yoga. Jnana yoga, we read a lot, meditate a lot, put God in the center, becomes bhakti yoga. Dhyana yoga, same thing, meditation, sitting nicely, put the Lord in the center, bhakti yoga is there. This is the beauty of bhakti yoga. It can be performed at any level, and you automatically reach the highest level because you're connected with the Supreme Lord. And it's considered to be the most direct process from selfishness to real prem. This bhakti yoga is regarded to be the fast track to this yoga process. Here. There is Naniban Sakam Yoga. That's the one where there may still be some material attachment or some desire, some wanting something back. But I think this is where Nishkam Yoga, it falls into the realm of Bhakti Yoga, as long as God is in the center.
Sorry, Prabhu, I didn't get that, the last sentence.
Here. Karma Yoga, it has 2 facets to it. I mean, there's more, but 2 big facets. One is Sakama Yoga. Sakama Yoga is where you are still somewhat attached to the fruits, although you are renouncing the fruits. Or you are... No, you won't... There's an expectation. You're not attached to the fruits, but there's an expectation of the fruits. When the fruits come, you're happy to... Whether it's with you or it's without you, it doesn't matter. So that's Sakama Yoga. So there's still some expectation of something. But Nishkam Karma Yoga, which is here, is where you're not attached to the fruits at all. You're not even attached to the expectation of the fruits. So, and that's very, very close to Bhakti Yoga. The only thing missing is that you have not completely got that connection with the Supreme Lord yet. And that's so easy to get, very easy to get. So Bhakti Yoga is considered to be like the elevator or the lift from the bottom to the top. Very, very fast progress can be made in Bhakti Yoga if one wants to connect with the Supreme Lord. And it's sometimes, sorry.
Sorry,
Yes.
can I ask something? What
Sorry?
happens, if we don't ask anything for, we don't expect anything, like, but pray for someone else who is in difficulty, where does that fall?
Wow,
Is
yes.
it-
Jayanti actually had a very nice, not experience, but realization from a class on that one. If you pray for others, are you being selfish? And the answer was no, you're being selfless. Do you get any benefit if you pray for others? Well, the others definitely get a benefit, but you also get a benefit. It's like she does an extra round of chanting. So, in fact, she does loads of extra rounds of chanting. Well, she needs to, is because she's got a lot to do. No, only joking. But now she's got to dedicate a round to others, because that way you're helping others, but you're also helping yourself. So it's very good to have that mentality. I want to do
Help
some
others. Yeah.
to help others. Very, 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 very nice. Krishna becomes very pleased with that. Very pleased with that.
That is otherwise compassion for others, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
That's one of the characteristics of a Vaishnava.
Yes. And like you know, right at the beginning, you said this person has passed away, out of concern, out of compassion.
Yeah.
And we should pray for her. Very good. This is exactly what life's all about. How if you're just helping yourself, okay, if you're helping yourself in the spiritual context, that's not a bad thing. But if you're helping yourself and you're helping others in the spiritual context, how much more joy is that? Not just for you, not just for the other person, but for Krishna. Because we're like all his children. And if Krishna sees one child helping another child come closer to him, how much will Krishna be happy? So definitely, very nice thing to do. Shyam Malini, very, very nice thing to do.
Yeah, well, I thought so. Yeah.
And I liked what Jayanti said, because yes, every day I'll pray for somebody, I thought, wow, that's really good. It's a really good attitude.
Yeah.
Prabhuji, that's what I always do. Sorry, I'm disturbing you.
No,
but
no, not at all.
sometimes when I find somebody not well, or they say they're not very well, or I'll just say, I will pray for you. And the way you said now is good to pray for others. And I think it is good. This is benefiting them. And you are telling Krishna is even looking after us too.
Yeah, he becomes very pleased,
Yeah.
If you are looking out for one of his other children, how much, like, how many children do you have?
Well, are you asking me?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, two, boy and a girl.
Two. So if they help
Son
each
and
other,
daughter.
you will be happy with that, no?
Yes, they help each other. I'll really be happy.
If they're arguing all the time, it makes you very unhappy, no?
They do.
They might do.
They do, and I tell them, look, you are only two. You have to accept each other. One day we will be gone, me and your daddy. So you are the family. So you have to keep attached with you. You argue, you forgive, you forget.
Yeah.
And that's what I keep saying, both of them.
Yeah.
I don't know what will happen in future, but they are very close to each other.
That's good. That's good.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Thank you.
I have to say true.
You have. Thank you.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Anybody else? Any questions? Any comments? But we are well situated. We are well situated. Although we may not be doing, we're definitely not doing any sort of pure bhakti, that's for sure. But we're at the right place.
Yeah. Sorry, one more question. So
Sure.
out of all these yogas, which one is the best one?
Bhakti yoga.
I see, all
Because
right.
Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita that even a little progress in Bhakti yoga will protect you from the greatest danger.
All right.
So even if we do a tiny bit of bhakti, we can do as much karma kanda or karma yoga or jnana yoga. But it's not even worth 1 tiny % of bhakti yoga. Just a little bhakti yoga can protect us from the greatest danger.
All right. Thank you, Hare Krishna. Thank you.
One question, Prabhuji.
Oh, sorry, it's okay.
All right,
Yes,
okay.
Yes, Naliman.
Yes. In Bhakti Yoga, Jnana Yoga is partly included because the Bhagavad Gita and we studied. So that's in the Jnana Yoga included there, isn't it?
Good, yes.
And Ashtanga Yoga is there to keep ourselves fit because yoga is good for the body and the mind, concentration. And certain diseases like depression or loneliness. So this all should be partly included in the Bhakti Yoga, isn't it?
That's correct. Yeah. It's like that example of the 50-pound note already includes a 20-pound, 10-pound, 5-pound, 1 pound, So you're absolutely right. Bhakti yoga already includes all of the other components.
Yeah.
All the other yogas.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, and this is a very good point. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. Shyam Malini?
Yeah, when Bhakti Yoga, it's mainly service, isn't it? Service to the loving service to the Lord.
Yes. Yes. Absolutely. Seva. Yes.
Seva.
To the Lord and his devotees. Yes.
Yes.
Correct. That's the definition. Loving service, loving devotional service. That's what Bhakti Yoga is. So this is where, what is this love? It's connected to the heart. So there's only loving service if your heart is immersed in the Lord, right? And that's the difference between Niskam Karma Yoga and Bhakti Yoga. The heart is not involved in Nishkama Karma Yoga necessarily. And as soon as the heart is connected to Krishna through Bhakti Yoga, through this loving service, then you've got full-fledged Bhakti Yoga. That's the difference, right? Does that make sense?
Thank you so much. Yes.
Any seva not connected to the Lord will fall into one of these categories. But if it's connected to the Lord in love, it's straight away Bhakti Yoga. And the beauty is, no matter what one position is, one can be either Shudra, below Shudra, or a Grahastha, or a Vanaprastha, or a Sannyasi. The beauty is one can engage in Bhakti Yoga. Whereas some of these other yogas is not so easy for certain classes of society to engage in. Even a child can engage in Bhakti Yoga. This is the most glorious thing. And I experience this almost every day at the moment. And I just am so thankful to the Lord. When we're with the children and they're singing with their hearts, and they're dancing, they naturally just start dancing, and you can see the smiles in their faces, and they don't know that they're engaging in Bhakti Yoga. But somehow or other, I get the benefit of seeing these children engaging in spontaneous Bhakti Yoga, spontaneous. It's like there's no motivation in their part, they don't expect anything. They're just enjoying it. And that's the Lord's mercy. They're just enjoying the holy name. And it's just incredible to see it. So even a child, it's so easy, even a child can practice it. Whereas these other yogas, a child would not be able to understand or practice. This is why Bhakti Yoga is so wonderful, so easily accessible. And so, the connection to the Lord becomes very easy and quick, and His mercy flows very fast when the connection is in Bhakti Yoga. So we have to consider ourselves extremely fortunate. There's no words that you can really, share with the Lord to express our gratitude. That how have we fallen into this Bhakti Yoga, by some incredibly great fortune. So we should treasure what we have and really protect it. Just like that Bhakti Lata bead, we protect this creeper of devotional service so that it grows, keeps growing, keeps growing, keeps growing. Okay, if there's nothing else, I'll stop there. Okay, Bhakti Yoga ki jai, Shri Krishna Chandra Bhagavan ki jai.